I'm working with a dog long term, I always teach three specific things because I think it's huge for the relationship between our dogs and to help fulfill them in a very human-based world. So the first one I teach is consent handling. Now, I've done quite a lot of videos that goes into more details of what this is, but it's basically giving your dog some control over aspects of handling using a start-stop button. So they get to decide when the procedure starts, and they get to decide when the procedure stops. We are giving them some control that they don't really have very much of in their world. Now, we tend to overhandle our dogs a little bit too much at times. And I think everybody's guilty of doing this, and sometimes we have to do it for welfare reasons. We might need to restrain our dogs for nail trims, vet visits, or other things to keep them healthy and safe. Sometimes it might be because life's happening, because we're stressed, because we're in a hurry and we perhaps put on their harness a bit too quick and a bit too roughly, rush them out the door, maybe we need to pick them up in an emergency situation, or because we need to get somewhere and they're saying no at that particular time. So when we use this consent handling, we're giving dogs back what we sometimes take away. And that can make a huge difference in their lives, even for dogs that cope quite well with handling. It just means that we say, for this session, you're in control. And you can see huge confidence boosts build in dogs that lack confidence, and a beautiful relationship happening where we build some wonderful trust between us. So the second thing I would teach is nose work, or some form of nose work. Our dogs see the world through a parallel universe of scent. It's actually quite incredible how amazing their noses are, and what they can probably know, see and sense from us. When we provide an outlet for using that nose, then we are giving them amazing mental stimulation, and we're giving them a purpose that pretty much all dogs have. And it's so important for our dogs to have a purpose, especially because a lot of them are from a working background. So we're giving them a job to do that speaks their language. We're putting them in the pilot's seat and we're just along for the ride. And the great thing about nose work is you can work it into your everyday life so easily, because you can make it as easy or as complex as you need it to be. So when we're getting our dogs to sniff out a piece of sausage, it's really easy for us. And it's still nose work. It might be engaging a different part of their brain, perhaps the scavenger part of their brain. However, our dogs are natural scavengers, so it's nice to provide them with an outlet for that. And they're still using that nose. So it's a really good, quick, easy game to play indoors or out. Or we might be using a specific scent, getting more advanced with it, and really, really geeking out on working our dog's nose. Perhaps it's an active search, perhaps it's searching for a little piece of Kong, or maybe you're doing the little tins and it's a bit more passive. Either way, it's a fantastic thing to build into any dog's daily life, even if it is just tossing a sausage or hiding it somewhere around the house and giving them the go-ahead to go find that. So the third thing I teach is a cue, and that's a nose target. And if I could teach a dog just one cue, this would be it. And it's basically a nose touch or a hand touch where the dog's nose boops the palm of your hand. We can add distance to that, we can add energy to that, and we can bring it into games. And the reason why I love it so much is if you build up a really good reinforcement history behind it, which means you repeat it, you repeat it, you repeat it a lot, and your dog gets lots of lovely things for it, then it's really motivating for the dog. And it can go such a long way. This one simple action, or this simple behaviour, can be built into recall, heel work. It can be the base of consent handling, which we talked about at the beginning. It can redirect a dog that's perhaps reactive or very distracted, and it can build amazing confidence. It's good for the hand-shy dogs when we work slowly and build a positive association to hands, and it can be a great alternative to going to say hi for dogs that jump up and are keen and happy to greet. There's just so many parts to it that it's absolutely my favourite thing to teach any dog. So those are my 3 top things to teach any dog, and why I have courses dedicated to those specific things within the membership. I've got 30 days of nose touch, which shows you all the ways you can advance that nose touch and how amazing it is. 30 days of nose work, which is a real geek out for us because it includes some fascinating nose facts, which I just love learning about. And 28 days to consent handling. It tells you all about how you can build in that consent and really get our dogs understanding that they are in control. Because once they get the concept in one scenario, it's really easy to transfer, and it's a fantastic skill for any dog to learn.